Well, the kids are getting ready for bed. The house is beginning to quieten down, and I'm just going to shoot off up the road for a little bimbo. Not very far, but I'm going to go to a high point just outside our village, and it's got, shall we say, nearly 360-degree views from that particular point. So I'm going to just potter up there a moment. The hedgerows here are looking really stunning. Absolutely stunning. And this is the time of night you get it all to yourself. Well, I wonder if that's the baby rabbit I released. All this land, right away down to the watercourse, sitting in the bottom of this valley, belongs to the Duchy, which is owned by Prince Charles. On a kind of comical note, this road here always reminds me in some small way of those American desert roads that just go on and on and on through the desert, like in Nevada and places like that. And yeah, it just seems to just go on and on in one big long straight line. Now that is the true high ground close to me, and there's sharp tortoise poking its nose in the air. Over to Kilmore, Birrator, and heading further down towards the other parts of the moor. First foxglove of the year I've seen. And we all know this is a poisonous plant. Every kid is taught, as soon as they get out into countryside, that this is a poisonous plant. There's a nice track leading down to a farm, and it's got an avenue of beech trees, and it looks absolutely stunning with the different shades of green. But I'll pan you around, and as you can see, I'm beginning to rise the steepest part of this road. The gentleman farmer did actually tell me he was unsure of the future of the farm, when he should give it up and let it go. But that's just the way things are. You know, it's sad to say, but it will probably be bought up by a larger concern. But yeah. You know, passing of a generation and the passing of a way of life, really. If people are unable to walk to this high point to gain the views, they do park their cars here and then walk their dogs along the top, shall we say, part of the road so they can enjoy the views. But like I said, I'm lucky enough to still be able to walk. I do have views behind me which are spectacular, but I need to get into this field and skirt the hedge line to those clump of trees at the top, and from there I will gain my 360-degree or nearabouts view. I'm actually walking in a sea of grass and wildflowers here at the moment. Obviously this will be cut for hay or straw, but it looks really beautiful. Even with the fading light. That's on full zoom, and that's Kit Hill, and that's a prominent, shall we say, hilltop and a feature on the landscape here. And you can come around there and you start to see the very faint outline of Dartmoor on the horizon. And as I bring you around, you'd have Tavistock and Gunners Lake down there. And heading around this way, you can just about make out Brentor Church sat on top of its granite outcrop also. And also Dartmoor, yet again, like I say, very visible in the distance. Lanson would be behind these trees. You can see it when there's no leaves, but yeah, we've got leaves now, so it obscures the view. But over there behind that hill would be Lewonick. Heading around over there would be 5 lanes. 2 bridges sitting down below that. And as you scan around again, you start coming to the high ground again of Bodmin Moor. When those trees have no leaves, behind that would sit Carradon. And if you move across, you would ultimately see the bright lights of Plymouth. They're in the very distance, but they still shine bright. They're many, many miles away, but you know, big towns do produce a lot of ambient light when it's in darkness hours. And heading in that direction, you would go across several fields, meet a road and be able to come back down to my small village. I'm just making my way back out the field, but I'm following the perimeter just out of curiosity. But these beech trees here in the hedge, they are quite stunted. They are more than likely extremely old, but the thing is with them, because they're so high, they get blasted in all directions from wind. So as you can see, typical beech are a lot more, shall we say, thrusting upwards and out with the limbs. These are more sort of like twisted and gnarled, and that's due to the heavy wind flow that comes across the top of this hill from all directions. So I've come out here, I feel quite recharged again, the batteries feel topped up, I'm by myself, you know, to my own thoughts, and it's not my typical environment like open fields on top of high ground, because I do prefer woodlands. But yeah, there is something pleasing about it, and I do come up here now and again, you know, last thing at night, just for a little look-see. And I've quite often just sat on the hedge with a hip flask, a bit of sloe gin, and just passed the last half hour of daylight just watching it sink down over the hills. And you know, why not? It's a thoroughly pleasing way to spend that moment in time. But I'm going to head back home, and I hope you you know, just enjoyed that little bit of a walk with me on top of a little hill near my village. See you again, Andy. Well, I've just got home, walked down the bottom of the garden, and this absolutely fantastic sunset has just happened. And I thought it would be a shame to miss it.